All right, thank you for your patience. You know, technology is great when it works, but when it doesn't, somehow the links got crossed, but that's okay. We did send out the corrected links via Constant Contact, so hopefully everyone will be able to get a hold of that. Okay. So I want to welcome everyone to the Holiday Hustle, Holiday Marketing webinar. I appreciate your patience. As you know, if you over to the side, yes, we are sending a replay. Therese, let's see. We had Christian was nice enough to put the link. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find the link. Okay, while I'm looking for it, I can multitask. My name is Janine Biggins, and I am a Constant Contact authorized expert and trainer and a digital marketing strategist. I work with SCORE, handling all the direct marketing for the Washington, D.C. chapter of SCORE. I want to welcome you to Holiday Hustle. For those who are not familiar with SCORE, SCORE has been around for about 51 years or more, and they provide free mentorship to startup businesses and existing businesses, and you can have them for the life of your business. So at the top, you may see connection problems. So if you have problems with the audio or the video, you can just hit the reconnect button. We will be sending this whole replay out to everyone. So in case you have to leave or deal with the kids, you can check it out. I will be sending that out later this evening or tomorrow as well with the workbooks, okay? So I wanted to ask just a quick question to you guys. So I'm going to put this question out to you. And I wanted to know if you have a product or service to sell during the pre-holiday or holiday season. Okay, looks like 61% of you say yes, that's a good thing. 12% say no, and 23 aren't sure, but that's okay. All right, we'll give it 2 more seconds. Okay, we're going to go ahead and end the poll. Okay, so we are about 32 days away from Black Friday. Believe it or not, I cannot believe the year is almost gone. So we have some major days that we can, or opportunity to sell your product or service during this time. Again, if you're having problems and you get disconnected, Oriana, just click the reconnect button at the top of the screen. It'll reconnect. Okay. So we have basically 4 major days that people are buying and willing to buy and looking to buy, and that is Black Friday, which is November 23rd. Then we have Small Business Saturday, which is November 24th. Which was started through American Express. And a little bit about Small Business Saturday on my screen, and you may have gotten in your email, you can create free materials for your business from Small Business Saturday. And the link is here, but is also in your workbook. And we're going to make sure you guys can receive that. And I tried it out, and I did it for myself. And it gives you the sizes for your social media, as well as some great posts that you can use on your social media. So you don't have to figure out any of that on your own. So then we have Cyber Monday, which Cyber Monday is the Monday after Thanksgiving, which is November 26th. And then the last day is Giving Tuesday, which is basically dedicated to the nonprofit sectors. Okay. No, you shouldn't need a Dropbox account to download it. You can just download it right from there. Okay. Let me see, why is this? Okay. Is that a little better? Am I not repeating myself now? I think you were getting two different things going on. Okay. Can everyone still hear me okay? Can you just say yes? Okay, great, Andrea. All right, so Giving Tuesday. So with all these days, people are looking to buy, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how awesome this time of year is. So just a little bit about it. 2017, the holiday sales stats were 20 to 40% of yearly sales occur during this holiday season for most businesses. Okay. 55% of consumers visit a store, 40% of people shop before Halloween, and consumers spend $5.5 billion, that's with the B, locally in store. Okay. So those are major numbers. So what I want to know is, we're going to reset. I just have another question for you. And this is all going to make sense in a minute. I want to know if you collect emails from, even if you're a new business or existing business, do you collect emails via your Gmail, business cards, Constant Contact, MailChimp, Aweber? Give me an idea of what you may use. Okay. Gmail. Okay. Constant Contact, some, MailChimp. Okay. Give it a few more minutes. Okay, so we have Gmail and MailChimp as the most. That's interesting. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of this holiday marketing time. I was amazed at some of these, but they make sense. So the number one is there's a sense of urgency. The holidays, everyone is going out. They're not trying to bargain shop or haggle. They're looking, they have their list, and they're looking for things that they need. They're trying to get their shopping done, their list, their holiday dates, the office dates, etc. When customers know there are only a certain number of weeks or days, they are very focused. Another benefit is a perfect time to reward loyalty. Everyone loves appreciation. They love showing others how they're doing, etc. And so this is a great time to reward loyalty. Also, number 3, gives you a way to relate to your customers. Everyone's out and about, they're talking. You kind of get an idea, their guards are down, what they're really looking for, how you can help them. Also, the benefit number 4 is there's positive emotions. Everyone is kind of in a good mood, unless they're the Grinch. But most of the time during this time of year, people are in a good mood and they want to talk about their kids, their family, etc., what they're doing for the holidays. Another benefit, it's more chances to do good. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, people are tending to give more to nonprofits, to people out in the street. Everyone's emotional, they're feeling great. And if you do it well and in the right spirit, you increase your sales and help build your brand image as people associate your brand with generosity. So let's talk a little bit about understanding your value. And we're going through this because I'm taking you through a process before we get into the selling and the marketing, because you have to have certain things in place. Now, we ask these 3 questions and you can answer them when we get off the webinar or as we're doing this. But I want to know, your customers have a lot of options. Why would they support your business versus another business? I want you to think about that. Also, what products or services do you provide to make your customers' lives better? And also, there are probably things that make you valuable. I want you to write 3 of them down. What makes you valuable to your customers? And I'm going to give it a few minutes. Give you like 2 more seconds. Okay. And this will give you an idea when you're doing this a little later, when you really have time to sit down to think this out. The next is, who is your audience? Okay, so with social media, you have so many, you provide, okay, back desserts. Ooh, I love desserts. French train pastry. All right. So you need to know who your audience is, because you can't market effectively to someone if you don't know who is going to buy your products or services. Okay. So one thing I want to ask you is, what does your best customer want or need? And what would you do, or what could you do to really wow this customer? Think about that. Then the other is, what type of incentive has inspired this customer to take action in the past? If you have previous customers, or if you're not a new business, what incentives inspired them? Was it a sale? Was it a loyalty program? Was it a thank you card that you sent with a coupon? And then what is it about your business that would make this person want to refer you to their friends? Okay, excuse me. All right. So now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to cover marketing and sales tools that you need to have set up before you get ready to market and sell to your customers. We're going to talk about having a website or a landing page, a tracking program, which is Google Analytics, and I'll talk about that in a minute, an email marketing system, okay? And unfortunately, Gmail is not an email marketing system, and we'll talk about that. A payment system. How are you going to take your payment if you're online? Also, a customer relationship manager. If you talk to people and you need these, if you don't have a system where you can follow up besides, in your calendar or sticky notes, we're going to talk about that. And some different graphics tools that you can use yourself, or if you have a teenager, or maybe you have someone in your store or company that can use this tool very easily. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about website or landing page. You have to have somewhere for people to land if you don't currently have. Okay, so you have to have a place for them to land, for them to go, for them to buy your product, for them to sign up for your email. And so you need a website, which could be a full-fledged website, or a landing page, which is a one-page website. WordPress is one of the more popular and easy to use, I should say. WordPress website creators. Then I also found one called LaunchRock, which is a free landing page creator that you can use to gather emails to promote your product. And this is also in your materials, your workbook that I sent you. Okay. So the next thing, let's talk about Google Analytics. Now, I don't know if many of you have heard of Google Analytics. If you have, just put in the chat box, yes. Google Analytics basically tracks everything that's going on behind the scenes in your website. It can tell you how many visitors came, when they came, what time, what pages they looked at. Okay, yes, awesome. It can tell you if they came from Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest. It can tell you if people have referred. So say someone put your website on their, your website link on their site, and traffic has generated from there. So that's Google Analytics. And guess what? Google Analytics is free. It's a free metric code that's available through Google. So don't let anyone tell you that it's going to take $300-400 to load this up. It's a process that takes all of probably 15 minutes. Someone may charge you a small fee to do it, but I have heard horror stories of people being taken by other people trying to do the Google Analytics. And at a later date, I'll also do a webinar on that as well. Okay. So Google Analytics is a way so you can track, because you don't know what's working or not if you have no way to track it. Okay. So then we have email service providers. We have the three common ones are Constant Contact, which is one of the oldest ones. This thing started in 1995. You have MailChimp, which I think was like 2005 or maybe a little earlier. And then you have Aweber, okay? These are email service providers, and how they differ from doing things through Gmail. They join your list, whether it be on social media or your website, and then you can send an email to everyone on mail. Like, okay, awesome. You can send it to everyone on your list with no problem. Also, if they want to unsubscribe from your emails, they could do that very simply by usually going to the bottom of the email and hit unsubscribe. It saves you a lot of time and frustration because they take themselves right on. A few others on the poll, Nuri, you mean service providers? There's Constant Contact, there's MailChimp, there's Aweber, there's iContact. My Emma is one. There's several different email service providers, but these are kind of the most common. Constant Contact is a US-based company. They provide telephone support for you, which is important because if you have a question, a lot of times you don't want to email or chat. MailChimp has a free up to 2,000, but the problem is they only offer email and chat support. And if it's after 30 days on the free plan, guess what? You don't receive that. You can never pick up the phone and call someone at MailChimp. Aweber also does offer telephone support. And I say this because if you're having a problem with your system or trying to get acclimated, you may necessarily want to send an email. You want to be able to have someone that you can talk to, okay? So those are your most of the common email service providers. Also with those email service providers, you can connect them on your Facebook page. So that's really important as well. Now, the other thing is payment process. You want to get paid. You want to get your money. And these are all on the line, because offline you have your point of sale systems if you have a store, but Square also has an offline system as well. But these are online. You have PayPal, which is probably one of the most common one everyone knows. Then Stripe is another one, and then Square. So you have these three payment processors, and you can usually get signed up today with them. You sign up, you give information, and you're open for business. PayPal also has different credit cards, swipers, things for people that have the chip you can use, and they now even offer loan services. In addition to PayPal, you can offer financing through PayPal for your product or services. So if you have a high dollar figure for one of your accounts, one of your products or services, say it was $300, $400, $500 or more, you can now offer financing through PayPal. PayPal, it goes through them. You get your money right away, and then PayPal pays you your money, and then they work with the person and they take the payments and everything. Okay. So these are 3 payment processors. Okay. Now, another thing that you might not have thought about is, do you have a CRM, a customer relationship management system? And I cut off the management system. What that means is, do you have a way to kind of keep track of who you talk to, if you need to follow up with them. And if you have a question, please just write it in and we'll definitely go through it at the end. Okay. So a customer relationship manager, I can put in a spoke to Diane today regarding purchasing XYZ, follow up on Tuesday. Now, unless you have sticky notes or a customer relationship management system like a Salesforce, which is expensive, you may not do this. But HubSpot, which is what this is from, is a customer relationship management and system. And guess what? It is free. Okay. There was a question from Joanne regarding merchants of service account and online system. Thank you for mentioning it. So a merchant service account usually goes through your bank, and you get through your bank, and you any deposit will go right to your bank account. Some people do not like the merchant service account, because unless it's changed, and I haven't had one in a while because I used to sell clothing, but I used to have to pay a fee whether I made a sale that month or not. So that's kind of what way that I went with PayPal, because I had to end up paying even if I use it or not. Okay. So we talked about setting up your email, website, getting paid. So let's talk about graphics and image creators. Now, these are real important because image is everything. As we know, people do not like to read, but images kind of catch their attention. And I found some free, matter of fact, all these are free except 2, free different graphics places where they're free graphics, royalty free, that you can find beautiful images. Keep in mind, do not go to Google Images and take images off of there, because many times those are copyrighted, and then they could sue you for using an image. But Unsplash, Pexels, and Pixabay are free royalty sites. You go there, you don't have to have a subscription. You type in kind of what you're looking for. They'll give you an array of pictures, and they'll even give you different sizes that you can download. Now, yes, there are paid systems, but they will charge you per picture, and they're not very cheap. What Canva is a free system where you can make some really great images, and it's kind of almost like a drag and drop to make if you're using it for Instagram, or if you're using them for Facebook, or any of those, or even Pinterest. Canva is a great way. You can even do headers for your social media, booklets. It's amazing what you can use with Canva. PicMonkey is a paid service, and you can edit images online. So, and I'm sure there's some free ones, but these are ones that I would PicMonkey. I can kind of pay for that. I can do the year. It's not very expensive. I think it was like $49, but I can keep track, especially if I'm not in my office all the time. If I need to change something, I can do that all from PicMonkey. And Fiverr is kind of like a low-end outsource company. So if you wanted a logo, or if you wanted, they do all kinds of things on Fiverr. They may even do data entry or things of that sort. You pay the fee, and they will get the job to you in 2-3 days or whatever. That's Fiverr. So you can take a look at all three of these. Okay, someone else said something. Magisto is a great app. Great. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, and I just kind of covered the main ones. Okay. So let's talk about ways to build your audience. So you have everything in place, or you're in the process. You have your website. You have your email system set up. You have your Facebook and Twitter, all your social media. Now, how are you going to build that audience? Even if you already have an audience. Let's talk about offline first, and then we'll talk about online. So offline, basically, if you have a store, or if you're out doing trademark, or you're networking, or you're vending, you can put signs up for people to join your email list. You can have them join a loyalty program via a sign-in form or text. And in the information that I sent you, there is actually there's several different sign-up sheets that you can use and print off. Excuse me. You can put email list information in your receipts if your system does that. Again, you can put your sign-in sheet near your counter or desk or your vending table. Constant Contact actually has a text sign-up system where they can text in, and this is just to join your email list. And sometimes a QR code that will direct people to your email sign-up. That's a little square black and white code. So that's the offline list building. Okay. So then we have online. Okay. So online is anything that's done online, whether it's your social media or your website. You can add a sign-up form to your website or landing page. You can encourage people to opt in and offer them a report, checklist, or gift in order to get their email. Normally, they're just not going to give you their email if they're not interested in your product or service, or if you're not offering them something. With many of the email systems, you have a sign-up widget, and I'll show you that in a minute, on Facebook and Instagram through Linktree, and I'll show you what that is. Also, with Twitter, you can encourage followers to join your list via an automation system, and I'll show you that in 1 second. If any of you have done Facebook Live or Periscope Broadcast, another great online list building, you can say, hey, if you like what I'm saying or you want to join our lists, type your email in the bottom or text to this number or visit our website. And then the newest thing are called Facebook Messenger chatbots. Excuse me, I'm going to get a little water. Okay. So what you're looking at now is a little, let's see if I can make it a little bigger, is over to the left, a client of mine, they put their email sign-up widget right on their website. So on every page, no matter what page you go into, the email comes up. And then what happens when someone joins an email list or something like that, you always want to have an email or a welcome email that goes back to them to kind of give them a guide. You never just want to say, thank you for joining our list. You want to kind of say, thank you for joining. Here's the information. Here's a link to XYZ, or you can find out this on our website. If you give them options, people will use them. This is an automatic response that we use for a virtual summit that we did. And basically, we sent it to them for joining. Here's a list, here's a link, and more information. And that way, people will go find out information on your website or your landing page. Okay. Okay. So the next thing that we have is this is a Facebook page. Okay. And we know that you can have widgets, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's basically widgets to sign up on your Facebook page. But what I wanted to show you that many people don't know about is years ago when Facebook business pages first started, everyone who was a fan of your page or a like, and you posted, everyone would see it, or the majority would see it. Now, what has happened is that say you had 1,000 fans. Do you know that only 6%, 4 to 6% of your fans are seeing your posts? That's not a lot, even if you had 10,000 or 20,000. So what has happened is they've done that because they want to encourage you to what? Advertise on Facebook. But there's one way you can kind of not get around, but kind of help you out with that. And that's here called the See First. So basically, when you hover over the like button, or follow button, a little drop down comes down and there's a See First. If you tell your people to click on the See First, what will happen is every time you post, guess what happens? They will actually get a notification in their the little dot notification. And that is priceless because you know for a fact that they're going to get your message. Many people don't know that. So again, try it later after we get off this webinar. Go to a page or even go to a person's profile, hover over the following, and this will drop down. Okay. Okay, this next one this is actually the Facebook widget, the email capture. So over to the left, there is a little, we changed the name of it that says Get Information from Lou. He's a CPA in Columbia, Maryland. What happens is this drops down. So it's branded because we put his image there. And then the person right from Facebook can in their email address, first name, and their last name right there, right within Facebook, okay? That is priceless because if they're on Facebook, they find out about your company, you don't want them to have to move, right? Okay. So, all right. So the next thing you have, we call this Twitter implementation. Now with Twitter, it does not allow you to use widgets or load up little apps on Twitter. So the best thing you could do with Twitter is you have an automatic reply that tells people, thank you for joining, do this next. And that's using a thing called if this, then that. And that's what we have on our mobile page because there's nowhere to put an email sign up capture on Twitter. So you need to kind of tweet. You can tweet out a link to your email sign up, whether you're using MailChimp or any of the others or Constant Contact, or you can use an automatic system called if this, then that. Okay. That you can use on Twitter. That's how you can build that audience on Twitter. Okay. So then if you're using Instagram, you all probably know that Instagram only gives you one link that you can put in. That's it. How do you get the widget? If you have Constant Contact or MailChimp, they have it in the back office, Therese. Okay. So with what I'm saying, with Instagram, you have there's a free tool that you use. It's called Linktree. What it does, it gives you the option to have more than one link in your Instagram thing. So I have an Instagram account called Plus Size Events. And what happens is I have one link that says link to you, but as soon as the person hits this, look what happens. There's a little mini menu that can drop down and you can control this. So one could be join our mailing list. Another one could be check our newest specials. The other one could be take a survey. So you control what the drop down is. And again, you know, guys, I love free stuff. This is totally free. And this is Linktree. LINTR.ee. It's a little weird. So you can use that for your Instagram. Okay. So another way to build your audience or your list is through text marketing. This is one that I absolutely love because it is the easiest. You can use it on all social media. You can use it on your business cards. You can use it online. You can be at a networking event. He's like, hey, take out your phone, text this to this. And people always have their phone out, so they'll text it. It's saving them paper. A lot of times if they take your business card, 9 times out of 10, you may not get a call, or they may put it on their desk. I don't know how many times I've been to events, got business cards, and I've never gone back, unfortunately, to look at them, which is not good. So with your text marketing, there's several things you could do. You have people join your list. In addition to joining your list, the text system can do various things, from sending polls out, coupons. If something happens and you have to send a text message out with a new link, you could do that as well. You can do appointment reminders. So if you're a hairdresser, a fitness instructor, you do things where people have to make appointments. You can send appointments out that way. There's a variety of things you can do with text, but the biggest thing is that you can build your list by people texting in, and then you can offer them anything that you want for them texting in. You do not want to text them too many times. You want to kind of manage their expectations. So as soon as they sign up, you may say you will get about 4 ways to 4 messages from us in the midst of the user story. Okay, Maria, I answered that question 1 second. That's a good question. So let me just finish. So if you, as you can see from this screen, we have different people using text, from selling water to tanning. And most recently, I've been having meetings in the DC area, etc. And I've noticed more and more people using text. And these are some pictures from the train in Washington, DC. There's a moving company. There's food computer training, smartphone. Guess what they're using? They're using text. The one to the left, the Bank of America, was actually on their ATM. Text Erica and say hello. And then even as most recently, I went online to Off-Broadway Shoes. And what was amazing for Off-Broadway Shoes, they even had a text number. So everyone is using text for one thing or another. Okay? So that's a great way to build your list. It's an easy way because most people have their phones out. I don't care what they're doing. If they're in the airport, they're on the metro. Unfortunately, if they're in their car. I've been watching people, it's amazing, walking down the street, texting, almost running into trees. But it's a reality. They have text. They have their phones. So you might as well reach them where they are. And here are a couple other ways you can build it. If you have a restaurant or any kind of service, build that list because it's an easy way to get into their phone. Most people will read the text messages, or statistics show at least 90% will open text messages versus 5% for email. So let me answer this question really quick. For Maria, she wanted to talk about a way to use your story on Instagram for business. On Instagram, what you can do, Maria, is you can have different images talking about your story. And because the content area in Instagram is not limited, you can make a story with your different images. You can do a different part of your story for each day. It may be a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you would have the corresponding images to that story. Again, that's kind of selling the information. And then on the back end, you're then kind of offering them an offer. But that's one way you can use your story. Someone also asked, how do you use text marketing? No, text marketing is not an app, Therese. Text marketing allows you it's cloud-based, meaning it's online. You can schedule the messages to go out whenever you want to, similar to email. And that's how you use it. If you want to get a text number, you use a system. Like we have a system, Get a Business mobile app, which will allow you to send a certain amount of text messages to a group per month. With that, you can have coupons, and I'm showing you right now. You can do coupons through your text message. You can show videos. I mean, a variety of different things. And what you're looking at now are mobile coupons. So if you wanted to give a person an opportunity to get a certain percentage off, so you can send them a mobile coupon, which is what you see here. Through that mobile coupon, if the person had a store, I could, well, a couple things. I could click on the little phone. By just touching that, it will call the business. If I wanted to do the middle, I could go right to their website. Or if I wanted directions, if you're a physical location, I could do that. I could also share the coupons with my friends via SMS, with my community via Facebook, as well as Twitter. Okay, there's a question. We use Hootsuite and Buffer. Is there a way to do the story from those tools? I know with Hootsuite, it's basically a way that you can you can send the same messages out, Maria, to different social media platforms. So you could probably do it, but it depends on that platform if the ability that will allow you to do that through that platform. Okay. All right. So let's talk about one area that's been very popular over the past, and it's increasing. It's video. Using video to sell your product or service. We all know YouTube is a hot item. Everyone is on YouTube or uses YouTube, unfortunately, for good and bad. But YouTube reports mobile video consumption about 100% every year. Videos and emails are shown to increase opens because, again, people don't read, unfortunately. They don't like to read. Their attention span is very short. So you want to get them however you can, okay? Just looking at the future of video, they say viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video compared to 10% when reading in a text. 500 million people watch Facebook videos every day, and I'm sure it's much, much more than that. I'm sure it is. And look at this amazing statistic at the bottom. By 2020, online videos will take up more than 80% of all consumer internet traffic, 85% in the US. So video is a great way to sell your product, to explain your product or service. If people don't know how it works or what it's doing, there are many times I've gone to YouTube and I've looked for ways to how to do something. One of them was how to snake a toilet because I didn't know, and save me money. So it's amazing what it can do. With video, these are just some video shots of what we've done. I've worked with a retailer who actually, for Black Friday, we did all short videos. And when I say short, I mean they were under a minute. And every time we did a video and we posted it on Instagram or Facebook, her sales went up because it caught their attention. We had some really good music to it. Last year, we had a 20% off for Score. This is actually Score. It was a header that we actually used on Facebook. Many people don't realize that you can use a video on your Facebook, your header. People don't really realize that. We did it for a cardiac company. We talked about their 5-star reputation. So there's a lot of ways you can use video. And video does not always have to be a big production. Because of our lovely iPhones as well as iPads, you don't need a big, expensive video camera to do a really good video, because of the high pixels, you can do with your phone. So for example, if you wanted to do just like a little introduction or a behind the scenes of what you do and how you do it, take out your phone and use a stand so it's stable, and you can get those really cheap on Amazon, and shoot it. Do a Facebook Live or a Periscope. Now, for those of you who may not be understand, Periscope started about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, but you had to have the app on your phone to use it. So it made anyone could be their own, their own videographer. But then Facebook Live came out a couple years ago and kind of combated and kind of shut that down because people already had audiences already on Facebook. They didn't have to go and build their audience on Periscope. And people are like, well, I don't like to be in front of TV, Janine, or in front of the video camera. That's okay. Now you can kind of flip the screen to a presentation, but people are not looking for you to be perfect on Facebook Live. They really connect with authenticity. If you have your makeup done and every hair in place, they're going to know it's fake. But if you're your authentic self and you're talking about what you do or how you can help them, or a lot of times I have seen businesses go to do it just a Facebook Live. They go live and they ask questions from their potential clients. What do you need? What problems are you having? What would you like to learn? I have watched someone actually build a course by doing that. He went on, he said, what question do you have about doing Facebook ads? Well, guess what? He had about 50 people on his Facebook Live and they were just typing in. And then from that, he built a course. Okay. If you have a multi-level marketing company or a product or that has a product or affiliate information videos, you can pull those out. You can put those on a video or your Instagram. Instagram only takes up to Instagram itself up to a minute, but now they have Instagram store TV, which is a little longer. Again, shoot your video with a mobile phone. If you do it outside on a great day, the lighting is perfect, so you don't have to worry about that. So you can shoot the video on your mobile phone. Outside is perfect light, and then a lot of times from your phone, you can just upload it to YouTube. Okay. Okay, so then let's talk about the most recent, and we're getting more involved into this because this is a game changer. They're called Facebook Messenger chatbots. What a chatbot is when you go to a Facebook business page and you click on send a message. Normally what happens is you send the message and then you have to wait for the person, the business, to respond to your message. Well, with chatbots, what happens is you have a way to have what we call artificial intelligence to respond. So you may say, for example, we have a real estate chatbot. And so it goes to, it's like, hi, are you interested in residential or commercial? So you click residential. Then it says, okay, are you interested in buying or selling or having it, for investment? Depending on which one you choose, it'll give you another message. So it's answering the questions automatically. And the business owner, what happens with the business owner will receive the information, but what's happening is the customer or potential client is getting their answers done automatically. So that's priceless alone. Okay. This is kind of what it looks like. Back in March, we had a plus size virtual summit. And what happened was with the plus size virtual summit, we said, how do you want to register? There's a button to advertise, and also they could become a sponsor. Although we had this information as well on the website, we turned around and also had it on our chatbot because some people hadn't gone to the website and they wanted to get their questions answered right on Facebook. So that's what we did. So the features are you can grow your list this way, you can engage with the audience, and you can create really custom experiences and get their questions answered.
Have your attention, please. The library will be closed in a
Okay, so this is a game changer. So for example, try going to a website and click on the messenger area, and you may type, it may say, oh, do you want a menu? You may then say yes, but if it does not answer you right away, that means that company is not using a chatbot. That's what that means. But if it answers right away, that means they have a chatbot. And this shows you a little bit idea of what we have some samples. If you want to text chatbot to 40691, you can kind of see how it works. It's fascinating to some how it all works. Okay. So let's talk about planning. Okay. So you want to talk about where you are right now. So if you are thinking about doing a campaign, I want you to type in here your current website views, how many email subscribers you currently have, how many Facebook likes or Twitter followers, Instagram followers, or Pinterest views. Because we want to see from today, then as you're doing your posting and your marketing, what's going to happen after that. You know, is it going to grow? Okay. Also, because then at the end of the campaign, we're also going to go back and see how we've grown. Okay, so your campaign sales goals. What is your sales goal for the Holiday Hustle campaign? Do you want to sell X amount of units? Do you want to add on a number of program attendees? Do you want to increase your email subscribers? Or do you want to say, hey, I've done X amount of live video broadcasts, okay? Okay, so then it will ask, then we want to look at, once we determine what our goals are, how are we going to get to those goals, okay? What images are you going to use for the campaign or promotion? Remember, you can make the images from unspoken of different things. Are you going to use a slide, a slogan, or a title, or colors? And the biggest thing, what is going to be your call to action that you want the person to take? Okay. Do you want them to sign up for your list? Do you want them to come to an event? Do you want them to take advantage of your sale? You actually have to tell the person what to do. Okay, then what we've also given you are sample email campaigns. So your first email would be, you want to announce your offer. You want to make sure you do this when you have your offer ready. And the second email is send a reminder of what the offer is, that it's about to expire. And then never forget your follow-up email. Now you can duplicate these, because if you're marketing over that 4-day span, which really is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, or at least 4 to 5 day span, you may want to duplicate these. You might want to do a warm-up maybe of what you're doing, or asking what they're looking for this holiday season, and then go into talking about what your different offer is. Then your social media, we've given you some samples of that. You want to ask people on your list about getting a special offer. Say, hey, just for you, before we put it out to the public, we're offering it to you. Everyone wants to feel special. So then you want to remind people they still have time to get your holiday offer, about whatever ways they do. They still have time to get your holiday offer. And you always want to say thank you. People always love to feel needed and appreciated during the holiday season or any time. Okay? So here are some action steps. Just for example, say this is a Home for the Holidays donation drive for the homeless. Okay. So for example, the action one would be determine a church, shelter, or other organization. And this is just a sample to give or receive items. Then you want to set up a receiving area for donations and online donation payment. Then the next action would be to create 3 to 5 posts for your email and your social media announcements. Remember, all this is done before you do it. You don't want to do it on the fly. You want a plan. Then you want to schedule a kickoff event. Then after you do that, you want to take pictures of people donating and sharing on social media. Send a thank you to people that donated. Then you want to schedule presentation with the church, shelter, whoever received the item, and take pictures. And then what you want to go back and do is you want to track your website views, your social media numbers, etc. Okay? And then ask for feedback from your community in a simple survey, which can easily be done. Okay? So that's just a sample of action. Then it's important, after all of this is done, is to evaluate what worked and what didn't work. What worked well? What ideas did you think of for the next campaign? What didn't work well? What was the best thing that happened during the entire campaign? So these are some things you want to evaluate. And what you're going to go back and do is remember when you did those pre-stats, what you started with. Then at the end of the campaign, do the same thing. Note those stats down. And then what's the variance? Did you grow? You should grow. You shouldn't have lost anyone, but you should grow. And then you can kind of see what kind of worked and what didn't work. And you don't just have to do this really over the holiday time. Make sure you do this maybe quarterly, or quarterly is a great way so you can kind of gauge what's working. And with the Google Analytics, you can also see from a website perspective, what's happening online as well. Okay? So then the final thing we want to do is you want to start keeping the momentum going. You run your business not just on Black Fridays, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. You run it all year. So how do you keep the momentum going the whole year? So some things you want to write is, what additional product or service will your customers and clients need from you after they make a purchase? If you sold them mittens, the use is keeping your hands warm, but maybe some other uses is for the mittens, giving away gifts, giving it to the shelter, providing them for children, showing people how to knit mitts. And then is there an offer you can extend the sale? Maybe something is complimentary from what you're offering. So think about that as well. Okay. So in a nutshell, we talked about getting your platforms ready, your payment systems, your email, your website, your graphics, etc. And then you kind of go into building your lists and expanding your lists, and then marketing what you've done, having an action plan, noting down your pre-numbers and your post numbers, okay? Okay, so someone said, would this doable be in place for Small Business Saturday? Most definitely. For Small Business Saturday, so we're about 32 days away. In your packet, if you didn't get it, I'll make sure we'll re-email it out to everyone anyway. You can go on to Small Business Saturday, and you can create the little thing that I showed you, and you can start promoting that now. Maybe Small Business Saturday say, we want to thank you, come into our store, or this is our offer. So you have more than enough time. We are 32 days away from Black Friday. Okay, let's see. So another question was on Instagram, how do you make an item you post clickable to take followers to item web listing to buy? Great question, TT. Remember on Instagram, we talked about using Linktree. With Linktree, that expands that link in the bio type thing. So if you use Linktree, which is free, you set it up. One link would be go to the website or maybe go to a particular product. You put that link in there and then you post, hey, if you're interested in this XYZ or in this great bag, click a link in the bio. When they do that, they'll be taken right to the web to buy. Okay, let's see what other question. Please feel free to post any questions, guys. I think I answered the question, how do you get the widget? And I think that was the widget for your email. Once you sign up for Constant Contact, MailChimp, or Aweber, in the back end, it probably has something that says integrations, and it's under that. Most likely, that's usually the term. And it'll show Facebook there. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm going back to... Now, someone also mentioned Cash App. A lot of people use Cash App, I know hairdressers, etc., but some people are not comfortable using cashback from a business perspective because I have not found a way, unless someone knows, to link it to your online website or landing page. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, yes, Teresa, I'll make sure we'll email the booklet to you. Okay. Hey, Monique. Okay, she asked, is the chatbot only available for Facebook? Can we use the service for our business websites? Great question, Monique. Actually, the chatbot we're talking about here, yes, you can only use it on Facebook, but there are chatbots or chat systems that you can use on your website. So there actually is a chatbot widget that you can put on the website and kind of function the same way, like answering questions or giving frequently asked questions answered. Okay. The question here is, how often does a small business need to send out email outreach to subscribers? What about nonprofit? Now, Maria, I'm not sure if you already have a list. It really depends on your list and kind of when they sign up for it. So, for example, if you say sign up for our monthly newsletter, then they're assuming that they're going to get hear from you monthly. But if you say sign up for our 5-day course, they're going to expect you from 5 days. So you have to be careful not to overly subscribe. But one way you can do it, you want to what we call segment the list, meaning break it up. So if I'm a realtor and I sell real estate, residential, and commercial, I don't want to send my commercial listings, right, I don't want to send my commercial listings to my residential because they're not interested in that. So you have to segment the list based on when they sign up. Okay, let's see what other. Okay, Dion, reconnecting. You said you couldn't hear again. Next question. My business happens most in spring and fall, portrait photography. How do you engage during holiday cold months? Okay, so for Sarah, what you can do is prep them now and offer them a deal now to take their portraits in the spring and fall. Or you may say, hey, how about a unique gift for holiday? Take your portrait now and give them to your mother, your father, your grandmother in a beautiful frame. So that's how you can engage during the cold months. You can even something different. I don't know if you may want to do this. You may want even to do maybe a little class on how to take little mini portraits with their cell phones, and then you show them and charge them how to put that together in a frame. So you kind of maybe want to look outside of the photography and have some other options or some complementary things that you can do. Okay. So another question is, do you post the same pics campaign on each one of the social media sites, or should it be different? I have mixed feelings about that, Latanya, because some people may see it on all your sites. I had a client and we kind of mixed it up. We still had the list of, say, 5 images. Let's use that for example, but we would rotate them. One day would be on Facebook, then the next day would be on Twitter, then the next day would be on Instagram. So it was never on the same platform at the same time. Okay? So that's one thing you could do. Let's see. I'm looking at the question. Oh, Ty, thank you. You're welcome. We'll definitely send the replay out by tomorrow. Okay. And we'll make sure we email you guys the booklet tonight. Re-email it to you. Okay. Any more questions? I'm kind of looking back. And we also have some different options. We'll send you a link to some specials that we have using the video and logo stingers and the SMS, where we're offering, normally it's a monthly fee, but we've had people ask if we would do it based on bulk because they want to kind of get their feet wet and try it out. So we'll be sending that information as well. Yelp and customer feedback. Yelp is like a reputation management site, and if you're a service provider, you definitely want to make sure you stay on top of your Yelp and your Google reviews, because if you're a restaurant, a service provider, people will, if they're not familiar with you or haven't been personally referred to you, the first place they're going to go to is Yelp and Google to check you out. And if they see a bunch of bad reviews, now you cannot delete your Yelp reviews, but you can respond. Any ideas about medical service, physical rehab for injuries? This would be a great time because so much crazy stuff happens over the holiday. People sliding on ice, falling down. You may want to do a little cute, funny video and say, or come get an adjustment in case you fall or had too much fun at Christmas time and sprained your ankle. So you can do those kind of fun things during your rehabilitation service during that time. And a lot of times when people are out and they're shopping and they've had a bad back, things will flare out. So kind of use that as an example, as a way to kind of do some interesting marketing. We have outsourced HR. Oh, what you can do for outsourced HR is this is going to be a time for you to provide information. So you can say holiday blues. Did you lose some of your clients during holidays, or did you use some of your staff, or you want to refresh or offer new HR services in the new year? That's what I would do. I think it's D'Artagnan. I hope I didn't mess your name up. Try that. For you, I would use this time to kind of craft your message, and then at the beginning of the year, that's the time when people are getting back to work. They're trying to pay all those bills that they spend at Christmas time. I would use it that time. Okay. I think that's, let's see. Did I miss anyone? How often should we market our campaigns on social media without becoming annoying? That's a good time. For you need to, what I noticed for Instagram, and I just noticed because I can look at the analytics.
Please, the library will be.
So what you want to do, you want to test it out, Monique. You just want to try it out, start marketing. I wouldn't do it too much. I would say on your social media, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and make one of those days a weekend, because what I have found, a lot of people, because they have more time on the weekend, and it depends on what your service is. If you have more of a personal service, you want to probably do at least a Saturday to do some posting and test it out. Okay. How to incentivize your orders. I don't want to get too much stuck with. Okay. So, Victoria, you may want to do kind of like buy one, get one free, buy one, get one half off, incentivize if they act at a certain